Start. The learned counsel for the state submitted that there was nothing wrong in the announcement by the successor judge of judgments written and signed by the predecessor judge. Stop. She placed reliance on the note appended to the High Court wide order dated 8/2/2010, which, according to her, specifically enabled judicial officers to pronounce orders in all such matters where cases had been reserved for orders prior to the relinquishment of charge in terms of the transfer under the said order dated 8/2/2010 within a period of 2-3 weeks, notwithstanding the transfer. Stop. She submitted that the period of 2-3 weeks was not to be construed strictly and ought to be read as 2-3 weeks or so. Stop. According to her, if the note is read in this manner, then even the order dated 6/3/2010, which was announced on 12/3/2010, would be within time and therefore cannot be faulted. Stop. She also submitted that in any event the provisions of section 326 and 323 of the 1973 code have to be read along with the provisions of section 465 thereof, which specially entail inter alia that no finding, sentence or order passed by a court of competent jurisdiction shall be reversed or altered by a court of appeal on account of any error, omission or irregularity inter alia in the order or judgment, unless in the opinion of that court a failure of justice has in fact been occasioned thereby. Stop. She submitted that even if the announcements by the successor judge on 4/3/2010 and 12/3/2010 and the subsequent orders on point of sentence are considered to be irregular, since no failure of justice has been occasioned thereby, the same cannot be reversed or set aside by this court in appeals. Stop. New para. In contrast, we may also set out the provisions of Order 20, Rule 2 of the Code of Civil Procedure 1908, which reads as under full column para. Power to pronounce judgment written by judge's predecessor. Stop. A judge shall pronounce a judgment written but not pronounced by his predecessor. Stop. Para. Reading the above provisions in a plain manner, it is evident that there is a difference between the civil procedure and criminal procedure. Stop. Where in a civil case it is mandatory for a successor judge to pronounce a judgment written but not pronounced by his predecessor, that is not so in a criminal case. Stop. There is no such provision in the 1973 code. Stop. Furthermore, Section 326 of the 1973 Code makes it clear that it is in the nature of an enabling provision. Stop. It enables a judge or magistrate to act on the evidence recorded wholly or in part by his predecessor. Stop. However, there is as the discretion of the succeeding judge or magistrate. Stop. He may decide to go in for a de novo trial, or he may proceed from the stage where the predecessor left off. Stop. If the evidence had been recorded in whole, the successor judge or magistrate can proceed from that point onwards and list the case for hearing of arguments, and thereafter proceed to pronounce judgment in the manner prescribed under the 1973 Code. Stop. On the other hand, if the judgment evidence had been recorded only in part by the predecessor judge, the successor may continue from that point on and record the balance evidence himself and then proceed to hear arguments and pronounce judgment as provided in the 1973 Code. Stop. The provisions of Section 326 of the 1973 Code, while enabling the successor judge or magistrate to proceed in the manner indicated above, does not specifically empower the succeeding judge or magistrate to pronounce a judgment written by the predecessor judge or magistrate. Stop.